Odysseus can see it. He can almost touch it. He can even taste the food of his home country of Ithaca. However, that does not always mean he will. Poseidon felt that he had been wronged by Odysseus. He then pledged that Odysseus would never make it home to Ithaca.
Poseidon starts the storm that could kill any common man on earth at the time, but Odysseus was not a common man. He steered his ship the way no other man could, and this angered Poseidon even more. He sent 100-foot waves Odysseus's way, which sent the ship of Odysseus's into the air, and crashing on an island, Odysseus lay on the shore unconscious.
As he woke up from his devastating fall, he was surrounded by grass. But this was not just any grass. This grass was blue, and it smelled very sweet and tart. Being the curious man that Odysseus was, he decided to have a taste of this unusual grass. To his amazement, the grass tasted amazing. They were probably actually the best thing that he'd ever tasted. He then noticed that everything around him was a different color, and they tasted sweet and delicious. He was so confused and dumbfounded that he went looking for someone on the island to tell him what was going on.
He searched for about half the day and still had seen no one. He then decided to lay down for a quick nap. Odysseus woke up to a booming roar of,
"Where is nobody? I know you're here, nobody! I will find you!"
At this moment, Odysseus knew that the Cyclops had found him. He just didn't know how. As Odysseus stood up, the Cyclops saw him and yelled,
"There you are, nobody!"
He then started to chase Odysseus throughout the island until Odysseus found a ladder of what he called Twizzlers. He was looking for something to put the ladder against to hide from the Cyclops when the ladder got stuck. He looked up to see the ladder. It was stuck on a cloud made of cotton-looking candy. He had no other choice but to climb the ladder up to the top of the cloud. This was the best choice he ever made.
As he reached the top of the cloud, there was a helmet. He decided to put the helmet on in case the Cyclops didn't find him. He would have some armor to protect him from the power of the Cyclops. The Cyclops did check up on the cloud and looked right at Odysseus, but left anyway, shouting,
"I will find you, nobody!"
Odysseus climbed down from the cloud and thought that maybe since the Cyclops couldn't see as well, he didn't know what he looked like anymore. So he took off the helmet. At the same time, the Cyclops turned around and saw Odysseus. He started to chase him again. Odysseus was completely confused, but had to run away. Again, he put the helmet on, and the Cyclops kept running. Odysseus saw that they were coming up on a river that looked like it was made of chocolate. He had only one choice, and that was to go into the chocolate river and hope for the best. As he dove in, he immediately filled with guilt, thinking that someone had to own this river, and diving into it was very disrespectful. Knowing that it was a life or death situation, he felt he needed to be given a break. He then heard the stomping of the Cyclops go right by him. How did he not see me? Odysseus thought again.
He got out of the thick, creamy chocolate and started to walk while cleaning himself off. He then tripped and hit his head on a rock. He was unconscious from hitting his head in a deep sleep. Aphrodite came to him and told him that he was on Candyland, and that the only way off was to find the treasure chest hidden up on a ship, and that to get there he would have to find a way down the canyon with whatever he tripped over.
He woke up and looked around him to find a pair of slippers. How can I fly with these, is all he thought. He put them on and started to walk. But then he realized that he was walking without touching the ground. He was flying! He felt so accomplished and knew he had to get home to his wife and children, and he would have to find this ship.
He finally made it after a 3-hour walk. He looks down at the canyon, and his stomach turns. It is so deep, he can't even see the bottom. However, he trusts that what the god tells him, and this is taught throughout his life by everyone in Greece. As soon as he reaches the bottom, he sees a figure coming towards him, and it is the almighty Perseus. He tells Odysseus to put on the helmet and take take his shield. He does not question Perseus and proceeds. He walks a couple of feet and sees a figure running full speed at him. It has 3 massive heads and the body of a dog. He knows that this is always taught in Greece, to be brave and to fight for your wife. He kills the massive Cerberus in one clean swipe of his shield and continues on his search for this treasure.
As he was wandering through the mystical candy land, he got a glimpse of Medusa from behind, and he quickly darts behind a candy cane forest. He then recalls that if he looks Medusa in the eyes, he will be turned into a Jolly Rancher statue. Next, Aphrodite speaks words of wisdom to Odysseus, telling him that his next mission is to kill Medusa in order to capture a map.
Odysseus puts on his invisible helmet and begins to approach Medusa with a sword in his hand. As he gets closer, he keeps his head down, but then realizes that Medusa can most likely see him because she is a god. He then thinks to himself, I must act quickly to avoid being turned into a Jolly Rancher stone. He gets to Medusa as fast as possible and rapidly thrusts his sword through her neck. To his surprise, a map pops out of her neck. In awe, he grabs the map and realizes that the treasure is not far. He follows the Golden Starburst Road to the shoreline. When he arrives at the shoreline and notices that the most astonishing prize ever comes into view, the largest ship he had ever seen with a carnival on board. He was so pleased that he screamed to Aphrodite, "Thank you!" As the boat came closer, all he could think of was home, his food, his bed, and most of all, his family.